How do you get people to communicate with one another and not hurt each other, both emotionally or physically? Because small things can really hurt. For example, a mousetrap. Here's the game. And again, show them, don't tell them. This is a real mousetrap, by the way, so if I pull this back, that will really hurt if I have my finger in there. So I get a volunteer from the audience. They come up and I say, all right, usually I don't tell them I have a mousetrap. I get them up, I say, we're gonna do a little demo. And then I pull out the mousetrap. And that's when everybody freaks out, including the person that I brought up on the stage. And then I said, I'm gonna make this mousetrap hot. As in, we're gonna set the mousetrap. And what I would like the person to do, so I really set the mousetrap, and everyone in the audience right now is freaking out because everyone knows what these things do. And then I hold it in the palm of my hand like this. And I asked my volunteer, would you be willing to take your pinky, matter of fact, the end of your pinky, right on the end, so it really hurts, and put it on the bait tray of the trap and set it off? Would you be willing to do that? Now, teenagers, they go, yeah, especially teenage boys. Yeah, I'll do it. And sure enough, the entire high school will go, yeah, do it. Which that's a whole nother program, which I won't get into right now. But adults will normally say, nah, I'm good. I say, no, really, it's just, you can kind of be the man or be the woman, whoever you want to be, put your finger on there and let it snap on it. And it's like, well, why not? Why don't you want to do it? Because it's going to hurt. I say, well, how do you know it's going to hurt? Well, because I just know. So, well, have you ever had it? And I'll ask the audience, anyone ever had the snap on their finger? They go, oh, yeah. I said, did it hurt? Yeah, a lot. For 5 minutes? No, for 5 days. I'm like, oh, okay, so it really does hurt. And then what I'll say is, how about if, are you willing to set the trap off with me holding it and you setting it off, but I don't want to get hurt and I don't want you to get hurt? And then that will pique their interest. And, well, yeah, maybe I'll do that. And I'll say, okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to take your hand and put it right over the top of the trap. I'm going to hold my hand nice and firm. It's not going to go anywhere. And at the count of 3, we're going to sandwich the trap in between our hands, and we will set it off. You won't get hurt, and I won't get hurt. And they'll go, okay, yeah, I'd be willing to do that. And so we talk about how we're going to do it. We always make sure I keep my voice nice and calm, a good eye contact, and I say, okay, this is what we're going to do. I'll keep my hand nice and firm. You bring your hand over like this, and we'll count to 3. And then we'll say, now 1, 2, 3 down, or 1, 2, 3 go, or how do you want to do it? I always let them decide. It's going to be whatever it is. Let's say 1, 2, 3, then down. Okay, good. So I don't want to get hurt. I don't want you to get hurt. Now, if you probably noticed, I've said this 3 times now. And I say it in a calm voice, and I always look at people. And it keeps them calm. Now, the audience isn't calm. They're freaking out right now because they're thinking something's going to happen. I know nothing's going to happen. And so we get to the point where the person puts their hand over it. We say 1, 2, 3, down. Now the trap is live. We just activated the trap. I didn't get hurt. They didn't get hurt. And there's a sigh of relief. The audience is now breathing again. And they say, now we have to get rid of this trap. And what's going to happen is we just got to throw it off to the side. We'll throw it at the first row and see if it snaps on somebody. So, on the count of 3, we'll just fling it. We'll let our hands go, and we should be safe. You won't get hurt, and I won't get hurt. So, how are we going to do this again? 1, 2, 3, then throw? Okay, we'll do it like that. All right. And then we say 1, 2, 3. And I didn't get hurt, and they didn't get hurt. And then again, the audience can breathe again. I shake the person's hand, and then they go sit down. And I say, now, what just happened? And everyone's like, well, you scared us, or, I can stop at any time during this exercise, and I'll say, where are you holding yourself? It's amazing how audiences, how many are literally, they don't even know they're doing it. And they're like this, or they're like this, or their shoulders are up, and they stop breathing. And it's just a little mousetrap. You think, well, how can it be that powerful? It's like, well, yeah, because anytime you can get hurt, anytime there's potential danger, well then, yeah, it's really meaningful to us because humans don't like pain. And we don't like pain in a lot of ways. So when I say, how do you keep people safe, both physically and emotionally? Well, How are you saying things to people? If you have a critical thing that needs to get communicated, and as in, if it's surgery and someone could really get hurt, well, you might want to make sure, how do you say it? Calmly and looking at someone and make sure that this is really communicated, because physically they could get hurt, or emotionally. How are you saying? You say something to somebody and you think, well, it shouldn't hurt. Well, if it did, we know the research is this, that when you say something that's rude and mean to someone, on average, we only focus 47% of the time. But if you say something rude or you're mean to someone and you hurt them emotionally, you know what it goes to? You're focused about 10% of the time. 90% of the focus now on what just happened in that piece of communication. 90% is now focused on the pain. So to keep people safe, stay calm in intense communication or critical communication. Look them in the eye and make sure that you want to stay safe and you want to keep them safe. Because small things, they make a big difference.